Welcome to week 8.1 graded assignment, Title IX self-audit. Each student was asked to pick one of the three prongs of Title IX and complete a Title IX self-audit of an athletic program at the high school or college level, and I chose to stay right here at Ozark High School since I teach and coach there and I'm familiar with their athletic director, and so I did mine at Ozark High School. The prong that I picked was prong number 1, which is substantial proportionality, and it basically states if the composition of a school district or a school student body is 50% male and 50% female, then approximately 50% of the school's athletic participants should be men and 50% should be women. And they tell you that approximately the first prong of the three alternatives requires only substantial proportionality, and that's why it is named that, because it's not strict proportionality, because everybody understands that school enrollments will fluctuate throughout a given school year, as well as sports participation. That's because kids will leave your school and kids will quit your sports, so therefore those numbers really fluctuate, or can fluctuate throughout the given school year. And in talking and getting the numbers on this assessment, Coach Jameson said that last year was his first year and he didn't have any total numbers for last year's participants, but he had already gathered all the fall information of female participants, male participants, and total enrollment for Spokane High School of Ozark High School as of today. By the way, Spokane's where I went to high school. So let's get started. We're going with just the fall sports and the numbers that he put together and that I went over, and I counted cheerleading and dance as well because they perform at all the football games, and they, in my opinion, are sports teams. So we had 5 girls sports teams this fall, and if you count cheer and dance, that jumps us up to 7, and 4 boys sports. The boys' sports were cross country, football, soccer, and cross country. And the girls were volleyball instead of football, tennis, golf, and like I said, I counted cheerleading and dance and cross country. So the total number of students enrolled at Ozark as of today was 1,710 students. The total number of girls enrolled was 835. So your female enrollment percentage equals 48.8%, or rounded up to 49%. Girls that are participating in one or more sport, well, we're just doing fall sports, so what we have right now is girls participating in a sport, and that number is 144, and the total number of students participating in one or more sport came out to 291. So the unduplicated female participation rate equaled 49%. The total participant by girls in all of the sports this fall also equaled 144, and the total participation of boys and girls in all sports came to 291. So the duplicated female participation rate, which is skewed because we just did fall sports, but it came out to 49%. Okay, so the unduplicated participation variance would have been 17%. The boys enrolled at Ozark High School as of today was 875. Boys participating in a fall sport equaled 147. The participation rate Obviously, because the boys and girls enrollment is almost split down the middle, came out to 17% as well. And then when you looked at their duplicated male fall participation rate, it was 17%, and then the total duplicated participation rate for both male and female came out to 17%, which would make sense because, like I said, our enrollment is almost split down the middle equally with female and with girls at Ozark High School and boys at Ozark High School. We look at the total number of coaches. You've got 3 female coaches right now that are coaching fall sports, and the total number of male coaches right now is 16 coaches. So you can see there's quite a difference there, and my opinion is that football definitely kind of throws a kink in that because there are so many male coaches that have to be hired and put on the football staff. It really, in my opinion, skews the numbers. So for the purposes of Title IX, when you look at Ozark High School, the district, it really must offer equal opportunities for female students as well as male students. And obviously this is achieved because right now in the fall, we have at least 5 girls sports, and if you add cheerleading and dance, that moves it up to 7 compared to 4 boys sports right now in the fall. In addition, the district, has to seek to have a balance in those hired for coaching positions. And as I said, there's quite a difference. 16 male coaches compared to 3. So what do you attribute that to? I think you can attribute that to a lot of things. If you go back and if you looked at College of the Ozarks, Missouri State, Drury, Evangel, SBU, those colleges that are right here in southwest Missouri, I think you could probably call and get the numbers of male versus female students that want to get into coaching and teaching. I just believe in my heart of hearts that you would see a huge gap between the number of males that are wanting to get into teaching and coaching versus the number of females that want to get into teaching and coaching as well. And then I think if you looked, at, even our school, at the number of applicants that apply for those positions, and then apply for the coaching, because, I'll be real honest with you, there's a lot of females that apply for teaching jobs, as do males, but when it comes time, when the sports are listed that have become open where we need coaches, we just don't get a lot of female coaches that apply. And then do you take into effect the fact that experience, if you're sitting there going to hire a softball coach, for example, that has 10 years of experience, but he's a male and he's got a proven track record, and you got a female that only has 1 year of experience, or she's right out of college and at a school the size of Ozark, are you going to hire that girl? And what if that doesn't work out? And look at the headaches and the problems that could cause you. So I really believe, the applicants that apply for these jobs, I really believe that the men are far going to outnumber the women in terms of applicants, in terms of graduates that want to get into coaching as well. So, that kind of sums it up. I know that's a little bit different just because we didn't have the numbers for the winter sports and the spring sports. But like I said, in trying to gather this information, the secretary for the athletic director and the athletic director as well said they had no numbers for last year. So they gave me the numbers they had for the sports that are in progress at this time in the fall. So that kind of sums up our week 8-1 graded assignment on Title IX self-audit.